Welcome to this ICF Slalom podcast episode, part of the series running until the Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games. We bring you the inside stories from around the globe from the people who make canoe slalom so special. Here's your host, John Gregory.
A warm welcome to our second episode of this daily special series. Thanks for joining me. We will be bringing you a short daily episode as we guide you on what to expect the next day at the ICF 2025 Canoe Slalom and Kayak Cross World Championships and a recap on the last day's race in Penrith, Australia. I will be joined by guests including Olympic paddlers, teams and race commentators from around the world. Today I'm joined by Sam Lever from Great Britain, 2025 World Cup Series winner of the Kayak Cross Individual. This is something of a new convention to us to start World Championships or any other major international race with the Kayak Cross Time Trial. This is appearing for the first time as a medal event at these World Championships. You could be excused for missing a beat and still be learning about Kayak Cross. This modern twist in slalom debuted at the Paris Olympics, where medals were awarded to Noemi Fox from Australia and Finn Butcher from New Zealand, who became Olympic champions. However, for major international races and the World Championships this year, the Kayak Cross Individual has also become a standalone medal event. The race also acts as a time trial to rank the athletes for the Kayak Cross head-to-head competition yet to come. Here is a continuation of my conversation with Sam Lever after the World Cup final before he left the UK. I started asking him about the boats used for Kayak Cross. So I'm guessing it's fair to say that this is not an off-the-shelf plastic boat bought from Decathlon or something. To what extent, have you customized it, fitted it out? Tell us a bit about the boat that you're using at that level.
Yeah, so Piranha, they produce the typical sort of like plastic shell of a boat. And then if I was just to approach them and say, look, can I have a bog standard Ripper Evo 2, it would come with Piranha's fittings, which are like sort of standard fittings. They're not bad, but they're not super compact. They don't hold you in very tightly, and maybe they're not the best for force transfer. So, and they're not the lightest either as well. That's a factor. So what we do is my current boat that I'm using, I didn't even get those fittings. I mean, Piranha just knew that I wanted the carbon fittings from TJ Composites, and that's what we use. So it's carbon fittings from TJ Composites. There's a carbon base plate on which sits a carbon seat, which is fixed to the side of the boat and locked into that base plate on the bottom. Just at the front of the cockpit, there's a metal rod which forces the base plate into place and wedges it against the hull of the boat, so that base plate sits still on the bottom. And then I've also got carbon hooker plates. So that is drilled in with two holes on the inside of the cockpit and one on the outside. So three big bolts in total to hold this hooker plate in place. And that's where my knees go. So that is on top of the sort of little knee holders that Piranha already have. Those hooker plates go in, make it feel a bit more like a slalom boat. And then once I got those carbon fittings from Piranha, I took the boat down to Lee Valley and I sort of padded it out a little to make it a bit more like a sofa when I sit in it. A nice little comfortable perch for me on the ramp.
Yeah, as I've commented before, I mean, we see kayak cross paddlers sitting on the ramp, putting their deck on and then off. What we rarely see is what's inside the boat. So yeah, I mean, these are not off-the-shelf boats. They've been fitted out very much so that, yeah, it has the feel, as you say, of your slalom boat.
Yeah, there's loads of innovation around it. I know that some of the Swiss, it's not just TJ Composites that produce carbon fittings. I know that the Pan Am guys, the Zigzag guys, they produce carbon fittings for their boats. Some people have customized their own one and just put a slalom seat in a kayak cross boat. I mean, it's a bit more work and it's a little bit more rough and ready. But like the more professional standards is this TJ Composite stuff, the Pan Am official stuff, and also the Swiss guys. I know Manuel Munch, he puts together some really nice carbon fittings, like a carbon footplate and stuff like that, all just to make that plastic boat just feel a little bit more like a slalom boat. And slalom boat, they've been around for so long, they are the top of the top in terms of connection through your legs and stuff, and that's super important, making sure that your legs are locked in place, you're super connected to the boat, and you can sort of force it to do anything you want. That's what we're looking for, really.
Amazing. Very cool. Okay, so I mean, the standard of kayak cross seems to, I mean, it came in, 2017. It then got kind of more established at Worlds and World Cup races, but the standard and seems to be going from strength to strength.
Yeah, the standard's going up year on year. I mean, before it used to be that it was all about fighting, and now it seems to be all about just doing head to head as fast as you can and getting to the finish line first. We saw that with my race at the weekend. It was just all about getting out in front, doing a sweep before anyone could touch me, and avoiding contact. It's developed a lot from what it was, where it was basically all about contact and how can you hit someone and how can you move someone out the way. So it's a real hybrid of that now. It depends course on course what happens. Somewhere like Sale, where the ups are really high up, you expect a little bit more contact. Somewhere like Augsburg, you expect to pull a gap. So it's requiring more and more skills, more and more tactics, and I think it makes the results more and more inconsistent, which I think for the spectators really fun to watch, because it means that anyone could kind of win any race depending on what plays to whose strengths.
Okay, well, it might be nice to be likened to Ricarda Funk, but yeah, I mean, Ricarda was also like you, straight off the ramp. She was ahead into the first up every time, and I think she commented at the end that yeah, she almost had contact with very few people in all her kind of heats and then final all the way through.
Yeah, that's kind of the dream scenario for cross these days, is that you basically pull out so far from the front that no one touches you. And you just get to go. That's the only way that you can really confirm your way through a kayak cross round and put it all in your control. When you start to get into a fight and get into a bash up with somebody, they can do something random, or they can pull out a technique you've never seen for defending or attacking, and it can knock you out just like that. So it's hard to control things when you're in contact. But when you, as you say, like Ricardo and I did, you get out ahead. It's kind of the only way of confirming a kayak cross win, if that makes sense.
Okay, well, you won the kayak cross at the 2023 under 23 Worlds, but this I think now is your first time on the senior team.
Yeah, this is my debut senior season, so it's my first World Championships at a senior level. I've always enjoyed my World Championships at a junior and under 23 level. I've medaled at all of the ones I've been at, I think. Yeah, 2023. Obviously taking the kayak cross win in my first under 23 year. Then 2022 I got a bronze in slalom, so I've always enjoyed the World Championships. It always feels like a big moment, and yeah, my first senior one, hopefully there's a similar story, come away with a medal in my first one. And the time trial is like way more hell for leather and focused on just the key points down the run. I think it's really important is the gaps on the downs as well as the ups, so you deliver the ups really fast, but you also have to be pretty precise with the strokes you're using and where your boat is all the way through the run. But in head to head, it's a little bit less precise. You've obviously got the practice from the time trial as well, but it's a little bit less precise on the downs. It's more just about those ups and those overtaking moments and the ramps and the ups. Basically, that's kind of what head to head feels like. But time trials just a little bit more detailed throughout the whole thing, I would say. It's also more of a known quantity, so a little bit similar to slalom in that sense. But when you're sat on the head to head ramp, I'm thinking about up to gate one, but then after that, like, I could be in any situation. So it's just a little bit of a different mindset. The time trial, it's easier to feel more prepared for, I would say. So yeah, working together as a three is really good. I've been working with Joe now for like 2 years in cross, and I think we've both like developed a lot together. I think he's taken some stuff from my game. I've definitely taken some stuff from his in terms of speed and like the time trial stuff. Yeah, it's hugely beneficial.
But you, Johnny, and Joe, I mean, you seem pretty closely matched. I mean, there's not much between you. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's probably must feel amazing to have come out on top for the season.
Yeah, it does. I mean, Joe wasn't there for the whole season. He wasn't there at the first two World Cups. But yeah, it's nice to come out on top. It's me this time, might be someone else next time. So I've sort of got to stay humble with that sort of thing. I can't really label myself as the guy, because it could be any three of us. I think it still is Joe. Absolutely, out in front of us, even if he hasn't got the like head-to-head results. I think he showed with the time trial in Tassen that he's still the fastest, and in Augsburg, he was on to absolutely destroy me and Mathieu Amadore at the top, but he messed up an upstream gate. So yeah, definitely still got my eye on the fact that Joe is pretty dominant in cross, but it feels like I'm still chasing someone, which is a nice feeling for me. I like to feel like I'm sort of still pushing for a goal.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen less of Joe this year, but yeah, I mean, we can't overlook the fact that, yeah, he has been the world champion in kayak cross for the last 3 years in a row.
Yeah, world champion last 3 years in a row, nearly won the Olympics, won the World Cup series like almost every year. And yeah, he's still got it. There's no two ways about that. We haven't seen much from him this year, but we'll see what happens in Australia and leading into next season. And yeah, for people like me, Johnny, but also the other internationals, it's still someone to chase.
Okay, so any predictions for Worlds in Australia?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this, and I can't not make really boring shouts because the people that are good, you know? Like, I'd love to just sit here and say, oh, I think Tituanka Streak's probably going to win the kayak men's, but like, obviously, I think that. Is there any weird or wonderful prediction I could make? One thing that I had my eye on was in cross. Someone that I've got my eye on is Benjamin Pope from Australia. I saw him at the race in February, and he had a really strong strategy, and he's really good on the ramp in Australia, his home course. And he was stronger on Penrith than the other international courses, and he's strong on the international courses. So I've got my eye on him in cross. And then in other categories, it's really hard to make a kind of like weird or wonderful prediction. But something's telling me Xabi Ferrazzi in kayak slalom could be there. I'm just remembering what happened in 2007 with Sebastian Combo, where it was kind of a little unexpected world championship win. And I don't know, it feels like we could have something similar. Would Xabi be that kind of guy? Maybe. He's not taken a senior medal yet, so I'm sure he'd love it to be at a world champs. But also, yeah, don't forget Joe Clark, like I said earlier. I think he's struggled at the start of the season post-Olympics, but now he's back in physical shape and the results haven't come, but the form is there. So it might come as a surprise, but also not as a surprise if he kind of turns it on a bit in Australia and you go, oh, Joe's back.
Oh, he will turn it on. I think he's a master at peaking at the right time. He knows he's had his sights on Australia and Worlds and so forth. So yeah, I'm sure his entire season has been building to that point. So yeah, that would be good. And yeah, I mean, Kimberly Woods obviously is on a roll at the moment over the last few races, and again has been previous world champion in kayak cross.
Yeah, I mean, she just can't stop winning at the moment. So yeah, hopefully for her, she wins again. Hopefully Australia's a really entertaining race. Thank you for having me on.
That was Sam Lever, 2025 World Cup Series winner of the kayak cross individual. He spoke to me from Lee Valley, UK, before travelling out to Penrith. In this particular class, we have no reigning champions, although winners of the 2025 World Cup Series were Camille Prigent from France and our guest Sam Lever from Great Britain. In tomorrow's episode, we will recap on the kayak cross individual results and preview the canoe heats. Thanks to my guest today, Sam Lever. If you missed the World's preview episode yesterday with Danielle Woodward and Robin Bell, you can still go back and listen. If you enjoy the podcast, tell other people, send them a link, like, follow, or write a review. If you need more, keep reading Ettore Evaldi's brilliantly insightful and eloquent blog. I'm John Gregory. I'll be back in our next episode, released tomorrow at 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for listening.
That's it for now, but please subscribe to the podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or YouTube, and leave a review too. Until the next episode, keep it fast and clean.